Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is time for Wellness Wednesday. I hope you are all doing well. And you might have noticed last Wednesday when I did a live reading, I had EQ on. We had a really great time. I decided I was going to do that at least once a month. But with that, I've had some changes, so I didn't really get to say that. So this is the Wellness Wednesday look for a few months, anyhow, because my daughter is back home from college. So I had to kind of switch up my space that I was in because it was her space. So I had to give that back. So this is my new space, got a new space, new look, got my hair done. So yeah, so welcome. I'm excited to have everyone here. I noticed earlier, I don't know if they're still on, Jay and Sharon, thanks for jumping on and tuning in. So before I get started, let's just see if anyone hops on here for a second. But for those of you that are new subscribers, welcome. And for those that have been on this, following me for a little bit, I appreciate your support. Thank you for being here. So this topic that I want to get into tonight is about tapping. So I know a lot of people have heard of it, and some people might have heard of it, but don't exactly know what it is. And I have actually been doing tapping, which is also known as the emotional freedom technique, or you might hear people say EFT. I have been doing this for years, and I keep forgetting how great this technique is. It really is a wonderful technique. Hey, Sherry, how are you? Welcome. So good to see you here. So yeah, this technique, I've been doing it for years, and it's a really simple technique that helps to alleviate any stress that may be going on in your life, any pains in the body that you may be experiencing. Hey, Dinah, welcome. I'm glad you're able to catch me live too. So happy you're here. So it's a great technique for dealing with a lot of stresses that might be related to financial, just everyday stress. I know people use it for weight loss. I've actually used this technique for when I was trying not to feed myself with something I shouldn't be having. Hey, Ron, welcome. Happy to see you. And yeah, you could really use it just for about anything. I've used it when I was really angry as well. But a note about anger, we'll touch upon that in a second, because you don't want to tap too hard when you're angry, and I've done that. But again, so we have over hundreds of acupressure points in our body, these meridians, these pathways. And, one technique is just going to get acupuncture. But if you have a fear of needles or that doesn't really appeal to you, this is a great technique that you can use that will touch upon certain acupressure points in your body to help relieve that stress. And what it does, it sends like this calming signal to the brain to kind of help bring things down a little bit. Yeah, it's really a great technique. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into this. So the first thing you want to do is, well, first let's talk about the points. I'll show you where the points are, and then we'll talk a little bit more of how you kind of go into it. So this first point right here is the side of your hand, and you can do either side, but the side of your hand, and this is called the karate chop point. Ron says, I follow Nick Ortner. Yes. Thank you for mentioning that, Ron. I do have listed in the description the resources and the tapping solution with Nick Ortner and Jessica Ortner. They do really good videos on different things. So if you have trouble doing it on your own, I highly suggest heading over to their YouTube channel. They have tons and tons of videos for specific things that can assist you with tapping. So be sure to check that out. But this is the karate point, the karate chop that you're going to start off with first. And then from there, we're going to move to the inner part of the eye. So right here where the eyebrow ends, that's your point there that you're going to tap on. And then you're going to go to the side of the eye, just like right here where you feel the bottom, kind of like the bottom of your eyebrow, or just on the outside part of the eye. You're going to tap right here. Now, you may find some of these areas are more sensitive than others. So just because you tap harder doesn't make it work better. So be gentle with yourself. Don't get too crazy with the tapping. Hi, Susan. Welcome. And then the next point is going to be right here under your eye. And then here under the nose, between up the upper lip and underneath your nose here, so right in the middle. And then under the lip, like right where the chin is, kind of like if you have like a little crease like I do here, tap right in there. And then you want to go to the collarbone area, which will be so like right in here. And then you're going to tap right here on the collarbone area. And some people like to tap like this, and that's fine too. So either way. And then you're going to go to under the arm, right here on the side. So for all you ladies who like who have a bra strap area, you want to tap right there on the side. And then lastly, on top of the head. Okay. So those are the different tapping points that we're working with. Like I said, there's over hundreds of different points in the body that you can tap on. But these are kind of the commonly known spots or areas that people will tap on. So that's what we're going to work with today. Okay, so when you're ready to go into the tapping, the first thing you want to figure out is what's going on with me? What am I tapping about? So let's just say that, well, I'll use an example that they used on the tapping solution. You're getting ready to go in for a meeting and you're all nervous. So you want to kind of just bring that stress level down. So thinking about it, you ask yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, how am I feeling right now? What is my stress level? Of course, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. So for this exercise, we'll say, let's say we're at an 8. We're really nervous about this meeting. So we're at an 8 right now. And then from there, you want to go to the karate chop pose here. Let's see what Susan says. The protocol has changed over the, it's consistently changing. People have their different ideas and ways of doing this. And used it to get rid of migraine auras. Yes, it's good for pain, all different types of things. So with that karate chop point, you want to tap here on the side, and this is what they call your setup statement. So the setup statement is you're letting your body know that, excuse me, I'm getting ready to unleash basically I'm about to unleash some shit here. I'm going through it, so I'm getting ready to release it, but letting your body know that it's okay. You still accept yourself the way you are, and this helps to just kind of send that message to the brain that we're getting ready to go through some things and release some things, because in order to release it, you have to accept how things are. So just allowing yourself to accept that. So again, so let me see here. Sherry says, or Dinah says, I've never known about tapping until just a couple weeks ago. Okay, Dinah. Yeah. And Sherry says, I've never done this. Will it help with panic attacks? So that's a really good question, Sherry. And what I would say to that, being that my daughter deals with panic attacks, I think right when you're in the midst of a panic attack, the best thing that you can do is just breathe. Unless you have the ability to kind of go through the motions, great. I know for her, she goes from 0 to 100 like within seconds. So when she's in this kind of manic state, she can't think of anything else. So, this is a tool that you can use. But if you're in that state, you may not be able to think right away like, oh, let me start doing some tapping. And if that's the case, just get yourself focused on breathing, getting yourself centered just so you can bring your level down a little bit. And when you do, then you may be in that mindset to say, okay, now let me try some tapping to really bring myself down. So I really highly recommend trying that for you to see if it works. I think it will help. But again, it's all depends on how, where you are in that state. So focus on breathing first and kind of bringing that down. And then from there, go into doing the tapping. So back to the karate chop, when you're tapping here, We're talking about this meeting, right? We're nervous about this meeting. I am so stressed out about this meeting, but I accept the way that I feel. Again, letting the brain know that this is okay. I accept this. I accept the way that I feel. Another phrase that people will say is, I'm, stressed out about this meeting, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Whichever statement resonates, best for you. There is no right or wrong. It's just kind of setting up the statement, letting your body know that you're about to go through this exercise. So, excuse me, I am so stressed out. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. This stress has me so overwhelmed. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. This meeting has me on pins and needles that I can't stand it, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So you want to say the statement 3 times. It can be something different each time, or you can say the same statement over and over again. Again, you can just say, I accept how I feel, or I deeply completely love and accept myself. Whatever feels good for you, that's what you go with. Saying it 3 times, no matter what you say, whether you, again, what did I say, 3 different things or the same thing. All right, so then you're going to go into your first point here. And then as you're touching each point, you're just kind of letting go of what's going on with you. What are you feeling? Imagine that you're venting here, right? So you're just saying everything. And if you can't think of anything to say, you can say the same thing over again. Or if you're really stressed out and nothing's coming out, just breathe through it. If the words can't come, don't worry about it. You don't have to say anything specific. It's all about tapping on those acupressure points. So we're talking about the meeting. I'm so stressed out about this meeting. What if I mess up? I don't know what I'm going to say. This has really got me stressed out. Oh, my stomach is so tied up in knots. I just hate talking in front of people. And what if I mess up on the presentation? All this worrying and stress. I'm having such a difficult time of letting it go. Okay, that's one round of going around. Remember, we checked in at an 8. And then you just keep going. You keep going, releasing all the emotions, the stress. If there's anger there, releasing the anger. I'm so upset my boss has made me do this. I don't want to give this presentation today. I'm just so angry, and it's got me feeling so stressed out. Why? Wait, where am I going? Why am I the person that has to do this presentation? Letting go of the stress. It's just making me feel horrible. And then again, and almost to the point where you feel depleted, you feel like, okay, I got this all out my system. It feels good now. Okay, so once you've gotten that all out, you take a deep breath in, and then you breathe out. Now you want to go into giving yourself positive reinforcement. This, again, is telling the brain, this is now how we're going to think. We released all that other stuff, but this is what we want to feel about this situation now. And with going into this, you don't have to start at the karate chop point because we are already going through this. So you start here. I remember that last presentation I did really well. If I just take some deep breaths and calm myself down, I know I can do a good job. My boss has confidence in me to do this presentation for the meeting today. I have confidence in myself too. I'm relaxing and allowing myself just to be in this moment and knowing that everything will be well. I have a great way of connecting with people, so I know I'm going to do good at this meeting today. Feeling really good about this presentation right now. Feeling relaxed and safe in my body. And again, you can go around doing a couple of rounds of that until it feels really good. And when you're done, again, take a deep breath in and breathe out. And then I want you to check back in with yourself on that scale of 1 to 10. What am I feeling now? So immediately, just me just doing that little bit, I can feel a shift and I just feel lighter. So I would say now from that 8, I would say I'm about at a 5. And, some people will say, well, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel a shift. And that's okay. It might mean that you might have to tap a little bit more. There might be a little more stuff going on there that you still need to release. So you just kind of start it over again and see how that does for you. And even if you get like, say, zero point 0.5, like you went from an 8 to a 7.5, that's a shift. And that works. That's good. You're allowing the body to relax and you're essentially telling your body, everything's okay. You're safe. You're fine. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. You turned into a golden girl. You're here. Yes, this is my summer look. So I appreciate that. Thank you. So yes, even with aches and pains in your body, for me, I have a lot of back issues. So dealing with my back pain, even though I'm feeling all this pain in my back, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. Now, I've used this for pain and it has alleviated it. I'm not trying to say this is the cure-all of things because otherwise everyone would be out there tapping, but it does help to alleviate some symptoms that you are going through. Hey, Jay. Thank you. Welcome. Let me post Jay's comment that he put up here earlier, which is another good point of something that you can do. Utilizing essential oils is good. Maybe you want to put a little bit of oils on your fingertips as you're tapping, which I've never tried before. So thank you for that, Jay. I will definitely give that a try with I love lavender because it's very calming. So taking a little oils and putting that on the different tapping points could help. So let me see if I sparkle. Oh, thank you, Dinah. Maybe I should change my name to Sparkle. I love that. All right. So that essentially is it for tapping. Like I said, it's really a wonderful technique to use. I feel like I don't use it enough sometimes. I forget about it. But I have to share the one time that I did use it, I was really angry about something. I don't remember what it was. And I'm on the ground and I'm just tapping. I'm so, that crying angry, that's how angry I was. And I'm like, and I forgot to be sensitive, especially around the face muscles, that I was tapping so hard that my face hurt the next day. So you want to be really careful of that. If you are in a state, or if you're a little bit heavy on the hand, be gentle. You don't want to tap too hard. I've heard people say, well, I don't do that because I hurt myself and this and that. So be very careful, gentle with yourself as you're tapping, especially if you're angry tapping. You don't want to tap too hard there. And there's no certain amount of times that you need to do this as far as how many rounds. I say that you tap until you feel like you've gotten it all out your system. This is wonderful for just releasing, release. And then, of course, you want to compensate that, bring it back in with some positive reinforcement and just training your brain, even if you have this is good for limiting beliefs. So if you feel a certain way about yourself, like maybe, I know sometimes some people are like, well, I'm not good enough. I can't do that because I'm not good enough. Tap on that. I just feel like I'm just not confident enough to do certain things. But I simply, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I feel like I'm not good enough, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I feel like I'm just not worthy, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. All these feelings of being insecure, not feeling like I stand out. I feel like I'm not heard. Just feeling lost, and uh, I just feel lost. Let's say here you just don't have the words. That's okay. You just tap. Going here. I don't feel good enough. Again, if you don't have the words, I don't feel good enough. Not feeling good enough. And then just keep going through. It may bring up some stored emotions. We carry a lot of emotions in our body, so don't be surprised if tears come, as you're tapping. Um, I just don't feel good enough. Not feeling worthy. Not feeling like my best self right now. I just want to let this go. I I just don't feel like me. Feeling all this unworthiness, just wanting to release it. Taking that deep breath in and breathe out. And I didn't check in before I started this, but we'll say on the scale of 1 to 10 of not feeling good enough, I'm at let's say a 9. Okay. So now we've gone through that round, and now we want to, how do you want to feel? You don't feel good enough, but how do you want to feel? Um, I just want to feel like I can be heard. I have a lot of wonderful things to say. I feel really good that I can really bring something to the table. I'm a loving person, and I have so much kindness and joy. I just have a lot to offer. I do. I have a lot to offer. I'm I feel good about myself. And the objective is that you want to keep that whole negativity out of this round. If you find that you're kind of resorted back to oh, I'm not liked, or I'm not this and that, well, then start over. You're going back through that round of releasing. So don't confuse that when you're doing that positive round. Get all that other muck, get the muck out. So you can plant the seeds of how it is that you want. What do you want as far as feeling good about yourself? And this is a way of changing those limiting beliefs that you've created, because that's all they are. They're just beliefs. So start filling yourself of what you are. There are good things. You just have to find them. You just choose not to think about those things because you're looking over here. Not that you want to, but you're looking over here at those things that are not serving you. So look at the things that are. Why are you good enough? You're good enough. So just tap into those, and what you're doing, you're signaling the brain, this is really how I am. And then after you're done with that, you check back in and see where you're feeling. See if that shift happened for you. What number are you at? We were at a 9. So after going through that, then let's say I've gone down to, let's just say I went down to an 8. That's okay. That's a shift. That's progress. All right. So that just tells you might have to revisit that a little bit more to help you. So this is great for grounding and for changing those beliefs. If you're dealing with some financial struggles, about money, things around money, this is excellent for using that. Again, we talked about the aches and pains. And then one of my favorites, I did it I was having, I have a wicked, wicked sweet tooth. So I said, okay. I was just like craving everything. And I was like, Sonia, you don't need this right now. You've already ate horribly today. You don't need this. And I tapped on that. I tapped and it brought down that kind of energy of where like, I have to eat, I have to eat. It just brought that down. And I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. So let's see, what am I missing out over here? Oh, I love that, Susan. She says, tapping and having a Dalmatian come and live with me pretty much saved my life. Wow, that's pretty powerful. Yeah, animals are amazing. They know when we're going through stuff and they know how to kind of help center us and bring us back to ourselves. So thank you for sharing that, Susan. Do you do it on the other side and body? So Dinah, you can. Great question. Dinah's asking, do you do it on the other side of your face and body too? So yes, it doesn't matter which side you do it on. And I've seen people do it on both. So whatever feels comfortable for you. So for instance, you go from the karate chop point and then you can tap, or excuse me, starts in the here. You can tap with both hands. Just like this. Of course, this is always two here. It's kind of hard to kind of go right here, but you can do it. You can tap on both sides and then top of the head. So either way, either side, if you want to do, with just one hand, you can do this side or you can do this side, or you can do utilizing both. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Susan says the part about bringing in the good things as part of the new protocol. I haven't seen anyone doing it this way, but it's a great. It is. Well, actually, how long ago? It's been about 10 years since I do tapping, and that's how I was taught. So that was about 10 years ago. I'm not sure when you saw it, but that's how I learned of how to do it. And for me, and I mean, to each his own. It's like if you feel like just releasing and that works for you, then that's beautiful, wonderful. For me, I like bringing in that positive reinforcement because again, you're training your brain to accept these new concepts, these new thoughts, because we kind of get stuck sometimes in the stuff, the muck, I'll call it, the muck that we're releasing. Sometimes our brain gets stuck there, so we want to provide the brain some other stuff to nibble on. But that is really a personal preference for anyone. It's really a personal preference of what feels right for you. Now I want to create my pasta. Okay. Oh, you're so welcome, Sherry. Good. In 2002. Okay. Yeah. I learned this a while back. So I would say that well, actually, it's been more than yeah, because that was before my daughter. So yeah, I got my calculations wrong. So it was before 2002 that I was doing the positive reinforcement thing, because I was doing this way before my daughter was born. So she's nice. So it's been about over 20 years now. So let's see. Jay says I've learned tapping from my friend Alicia, who introduced me to the essential oil. Okay, great. Yeah, I do too, Susan. I think essential oils would be a great addition to doing this. All right, so that's what I have for you. All I have for you today. I came across the tapping again, and I was just like, I need to do. I've spoken about it in previous videos, but never really did showed how that they can be done. I think I might have done one. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I was told to bring this to you today, so here we go. All right, that's it for today for Wellness Wednesday. I will be on this Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time for my coffee chat, where I do oracle readings for the collective. So I hope to see you then. And other than that, I hope you all have a beautiful Wednesday evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. All right. Take care, everyone. And thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Don't forget your thumbs up. And I know that most of you here that have subscribed, but for anyone tuning in, I would love for you to subscribe and share. All right. You are all so welcome. Au revoir.